this is scoped field interpolation and transmission. I talked about field bombardment a few videos back. This is where the scope of a spatial body is trying to align with other spatial bodies. They're at different orientational equilibriums, preventing scoped field interpolation and transmission. Equilibrium is explained in past videos, and I'll explain it a little bit clearer in this video. So when an outer equilibrium scope is correlating but not at synchronized central equilibrium, you get multiple poles or major fluctuations in spatial body's magnetic field. Here I'm trying to explain how to exceed the speed of light without sinking too deep into the ins and outs of equilibrium. When outer equilibrium scoped fields line up in synchronized inner or outer equilibrium, they work together without interruptions, whatever the predominant field flow is. This is scoped field interpolation and transmission. Transference. In this video I want to concentrate on how Earth has an electromagnetic field which creates gravity. This explains how they are the same force in the same place but have differences only in perception. Earth's magnetic field works in conjunction with other spatial bodies' field forces. Earth's field works closest with our solar system and even closer with itself. If the Earth has 72 scoped interpolation fields with greater magnetic field velocity in the direction of Antarctica to Greenland, you'd expect Earth's magnetic field would be more likely to be North Pole at Greenland. Saying that, if Earth had a North Pole Greenland orientation magnetic field velocity and the interpolated scoped field velocity slightly favoured Greenland to Antarctica, Earth's magnetic field may only oscillate a bit, staying in the Greenland North Pole orientation. That would only happen if the interpolated scoped field wasn't strong enough in the opposite direction to encourage the change in Earth's own field. Other causes of this could be that the other scoped fields aren't in synchronized equilibrium. To fully understand the magnetic field forces and field's atmosphere, first you must imagine the field being made up of particles, ST, small things or small particles, that's ST. These ST make up the field lines and the magnetic field's shield. The shield is the maximum distance from the central equilibrium that the magnet can gravitate elements or gravity elements. The outer scoped equilibrium circumference of the magnet goes far beyond this point. The shield of the magnet has the same spherical circumference as the scoped equilibrium circumference, but only to the extent of the elementary attraction. An incoherent shield extends to the outer scoped equilibrium circumference. ST vortex in and out of all poles of a magnet in both directions. Imagine the ST are able to travel at speeds only limited by the points explained herein. There is a mini singularity at the centre of all magnetism. The functions of these singularities limit ST to speeds the speed of light. Now I want you to imagine a simplified 1/3 section of the magnetic field. The field arcs around. This section is the centre section that you usually see like this. Yeah. Now I want you to imagine some final third section. The field arcs around heading towards the opposite pole. For today, forget about the other 2/3 of the field. Today we will also simplify the field into a two-dimensional and half the rotation to the equilibrium. This would be like taking quarter of a complete circle. So you take a circle and you take a quarter of a circle or a quarter of a circle. That bit there comes out the centre and rotates around to there. I'll call this 2D half R. All things including atoms and smaller particles have electromagnetic fields. The outer skin of which you see in microscopes is the coherence shield made up of ST. I believe there are 4 types of ST: positive positive, positive negative, negative positive, negative negative. That's real positive, real negative, anti-positive and anti-negative. All of these states are capable of existing in an instance of ST, so that means one instance of ST can change state. I believe ST was the first ever object. This means ST must be capable of mitosis, and it occurred well before the Big Bang. Reflect back to my explanation of 2D half R. Now imagine an ST has just been emitted from the singularity and took real positive properties. Forget about acceleration and forget about speed. It eventually reaches the outer equilibrium point, furthest from the central equilibrium. At this point I must highlight that the outer equilibriums are ever-increasing circles that Einstein believed to be waves, or the fabric of space measured parallel to the point central to the poles. So remembering, the ST was just ejected from the pole and has reached this equilibrium point. At this point it can keep state and continue its path to the opposite pole at a similar arc, or it can interact with other ST in Earth's field and change state or even keep the same state. If anti-positive is achieved, the ST will return to the same pole it has just emitted from and be embellished or absorbed. Reprocessing by the singularity will give it new state. Secondly, if real negative is achieved at the central equilibrium point, then ST will return to the singularity, the same pole. Just before embellishment happens, repulsion occurs. Then ST, real negative, is expelled to one of the other 2/3 of the magnet that I'm not covering, the magnetic field that I'm not covering here.